Stacy, I guess simply put, how disappointing was the special teams performance last Thursday?
Extremely disappointing. You know, those are game-changing plays. It's my responsibility to have those units ready to perform in those situations, and it didn't happen. So it's extremely disappointing.
How does, in just general terms, I guess, how does a backup quarterback not be noticed there as the punter?
Yeah, we have multiple functions to make sure we're on it. I didn't do a good enough job of getting that done, getting that relayed, getting a call checked, or getting a timeout called for Coach D, or having to do that. That's 100% on me. As a special teams coordinator, we have that mechanism, and that mechanism needs to be done. It needs to be led by me and done by me, and not put ourselves in that position.
Did you guys did you notice late or not notice at all, or what kind of?
Not fast enough, that's for sure. That not fast enough, that's for sure. And again, 100% on me.
What is that mechanism? Can you walk us through that?
I don't want to go through each piece of it, but we have multiple checklists off. But at the end of the day, it's my mechanism to know that we have it, to get it out there and get it done. So it is all on me.
Have you been able to at least identify where the failure was in that mechanism?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, absolutely. It starts and ends with me. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The play itself, I mean, there's not, other than not realizing that was a quarterback, what else? What else on that play went wrong, I guess? Or?
Well, so you're looking at several things with what you're doing in your corners because you're in a sky punt situation right there. So we're playing, at the sticks a little bit with a fake. It's a play where actually if the ball's thrown, it's a deception play where you can actually PI a guy if it's in the air off of that. They changed that rule several years ago. So that that is the issue of not having somebody back there. We had some pressure in his face, but not fast enough when he's back there with it. And we got to be able to put him in the position. It's not the players did what they were coached to do. I didn't do a good enough job with the situation to have them where they need to be.
That part of the field too, was that Spencer was saying that's an area where probably expecting they might try something.
Yeah, it's in the fake zone in between there, so we have multiple. You're also in the situation, the sky punt, you don't want the ball to hit on one of your guys covering it, so you're playing both sides of that as a bullet releases, because if that ball hits your corner, who's going down to it, then they certainly get the ball coming back. And so there's two parts to it, but at the end of the day, I've got to have that thing covered. I've got to have our players in position. I've got to have recognition to get that done. It's unexcusable on my end. I got to do a better job.
On the other side of the ball, how did you feel about your punter's ability to flip the field when those fourth downs showed up and being able to get the ball out of there?
Yeah, I thought Oscar had a really good day. He had a really good day. He was able to get it out. We were able to change it. Frustrating part on the first one, we have a penalty. That was a 48-yard net. There's a penalty on that for holding for them, so you back that thing up. That's what we're looking for. So we've certainly got to eliminate any pre-snap or post-snap penalties. And so we have to get better. That was the one penalty we had in the game and in special teams and cannot have those.
Looked like Malik was pretty aggressive on kickoff. What do you think of you guys' performance on kickoff?
Yeah, we wanted to be aggressive with Malik. Obviously, the performance is not there. He had 2 returns. Didn't get either of them past the 25. That's not good enough. That's not a Malik deal. That's a situation where we got to get timing and spacing and give him more space. So I got to make sure we're seeing the looks that we need to see. We're able to adjust to some movements and motions, and so we can give him space. So Malik's elite returner, and I need to make sure that I'm putting him in a position to give him space and get the ball out and have an explosive return.
Do you think you've landed on Malik being the return guy at this point, or is like Dylan, whoever else, Cam's still in the
Sure.
program?
Yeah, all 3 of those guys are still working it. We've worked them a lot. I have faith in all 3 of them. Dylan last year had a great year, and he's done a great job catching the ball all throughout camp. So all 3 of those guys you can see at some point. But what happened on Thursday night is not a Malik Sherrod piece. Malik Sherrod doing what Malik Sherrod was coached to do. We've got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job of giving him space to be able to work some his skill set in that space.
And I guess similar with punt return, I know a lot of that's hang time. It's how they play it too.
Yeah.
You can't just take try to return everything. But I know you guys were hoping for some more explosive returns in the punt return game too.
Yeah, trying, and you hit it on the head there on the punt return. I think there was a couple short punts, which are always early on. We pressured them early, try to get that thing sped up. Had a couple I think in the middle, right in that gray area. If we do a better job holding up, maybe give him some space, and we certainly got to do that. If we give Malik space, he'll create it. So I got to make sure we're getting the correct matchups. We're good with our fundamentals and techniques, and we're buying space for him to change the field.
Spencer was pretty clear last year that he was frustrated with the simple task of a kickoff and a touchback.
Yeah.
Inconsistencies. Colton, small sample size, but I think he was 2 for 2 with touchbacks. Is he the guy with the big leg that you can be consistent with that?
He has shown that. He's shown that in practice. He showed that in the game. We're going to continue to build. So that was a very, very positive in the game. And you got some breeze coming at us one time. You're at sea level. There's some differences there, and so we were pleased with what Colton did on Thursday night.
You're also the linebackers coach. Thoughts on Marco and Jake Ripp? I thought probably had his most consecutive plays that he's had.
Yeah, Marco played his ass off. You watch that thing. He played physical. He played the whole game. Being there the whole game, not all of it, but a good chunk of it. So credit Marco. He did everything that was asked of him. I think Jake made some really good strides to go out there, and kid who hasn't kind of been edge, played, and did a lot of really good things. And I thought Bowen Phelps came in and played with good urgency. So there's a few things you always want back, you know. I mean, when you're talking every play in football, but I'm very, very proud of how those guys played. Now, on the flip side, and this is a conversation in our room, we got to find a way to get a takeaway. We got to get the ball out. We got to find a way to get another game-changing play to get our offense the ball and get us short field. The fourth down stop was huge, right? You know, you'll be able to flip that field. That's just like a turnover. And so within our group, we need to continue to grow there. But man, those kids played hard.
Rightfully so, you know, Marcus seemed disappointed after the game. He felt like it was uncharacteristic of the team. He's a captain. You can tell like the effort affected him overall. So how personally does Marco take something like this? And as you guys try to find, you know, your voice and your leaders for the 2025 Boise State football team, where does Marco fit in getting all that right?
Well, Marco fits right at the top, and he does it vocally, but he does it every day in practice. You know, he does it, and then you turn around and you flip on the game. So, yeah, it's going to hurt a guy like Marco. That's how he's wired. And so that is a role Marco has. He's been very vocal in that role, and he's also been from an example standpoint like I talked about. So he'll continue to push on that. It's our job as coaches. Our job as coaches is to teach and demand. And the player's job is to learn and perform. And so it's our job to coach and make sure we're putting guys in those techniques and in those fundamentals and in the right spots, demand great effort on that. That is our job as coaches. And then as players, their job is to learn, you know, what we're teaching and the adjustments we need to make and to perform on the field. But it certainly starts, you want to put it on anybody, put it on as coaches. It's our job to teach and demand.
Back to special teams for a second. You know, Colton Boomer winning the field goal kicking job. I mean,
Yeah.
I know at times it seemed like to my untrained eye the kicking was kind of up and down during camp. I mean, what did you see in terms of fall camp and him winning that battle? And obviously we didn't get a chance to see him. I know you guys had an opportunity, but you went for it on fourth.
Yeah, so it was. I would agree with what you said, BJ. Camp was not consistent enough. We're up and down. We were trying to create confidence. I thought Colton, as he came through, after he got healthy, you know, he was down for 10 days or 12 days. I don't know the exact number. Came in and then showed that consistency later on. Had a really good practice yesterday. And that's really what we've got to do every day. Each day is a new day right now. And I got to make sure I'm putting those guys in those situations. We put a ton of stress on them on what would be our Tuesday, I guess Monday yesterday. You know, some full speed looks coming at it, and he did well. And so we need to continue to grow off that. So we got the confidence wherever we're out on the field. And it really didn't come up, you know, on Thursday as far as the field goal situation. It was a go on that fourth down, but we need to be able to answer the bell when we're called on it.